Good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here. I'm here with Ross.
Good evening. How are you?
And we just got back, literally, 12:30, 1 o'clock from the Success Summit on the Gold Coast, which was pretty awesome. We had a fantastic time. Plus, we got to spend a little bit of time on either side just to kind of enjoy the Gold Coast and the sea, especially, and the beach. Yes, that was just a great event. So we're going to start by getting some feedback from everyone on their good news, which is basically what they got out of the summit. So I would like you to pick 1, 2, or 3 things that you thought was a highlight and possibly what you got out of the lifestyle experience as well. So how many people have we got? Okay, I'm sure Lindy will jump on eventually. Okay, so let's start. Irene, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Well, I'll talk about lifestyle first. And I said this to my sister last night, that the whole event, as well as the cruise, that everybody was so friendly and it was like just being part of a big family. And I think everybody felt that, and the training was amazing. So the food was superb. We had some interesting experiences as well on the boat, which is fun. I'm so curious. I'd love to know what happened. Anyway, we keep that to ourselves. The next time you have to come and you'll know that things can happen. And what I got out of the training, there's so much. However, one thing that I feel we always need to be reminded of, and that is the tools for prospecting. And that is always be prepared, tell good stories, listen and ask questions. And then 2 other ones, be enthusiastic and have a big dream. So they're my points I thought I would share tonight.
Excellent. Thank you, Irene. And you and Con did an amazing job of presenting as well and sharing your lifestyle experience. So I think we've got some photos coming up from that. So, and then if you want to elaborate on that, you're more than welcome to. Cara, would you like to share what you got out of, so you got to attend day 1 for which was open events and the day 2 for supervisors. So what did you get out of the training?
I think the biggest thing that Michael and I both got out of the whole weekend was about building the foundation. So, and we heard it over and over and over again from so many different people, that the important component is building that strong foundation to be able to build your business on, and the resources that we've got, that we've seen on day 2 were just fantastic. So we've got a bit of work that we want to do on ourselves. So yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic. So thank you for sharing. And what did you think of the Saturday night on the yacht?
It was great, apart from the little entertaining part. It was awesome.
Yeah, so I think everyone had a lot of fun, which was great. So cool. Thank you for sharing. So Amanda, would you like to go next on what you want to say about yourselves and what maybe your highlight that you got from the Saturday training and the Saturday night?
Yeah, well, I quite like, the Saturday night. It was quite good. Like I said, the entertainment was, that little entertaining bit that we had was quite good. I think everybody enjoyed that bit. The food was great. Yeah, the whole night was quite good, I think. I quite enjoyed it. I think you did as well.
Yeah, very much so.
I got some awesome photos of you too.
Yeah, we did get some good photos for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so what about the training? I mean, what's one thing that really stood out for you?
The Rockstar experience, the Rockstar, the following up of your clients, giving them the whole Rockstar feeling and experience, just making them feel like they're really important, just following them up with everything and that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you say that, because that is such an important part. And I probably don't think of it as what Rockstar follow-up in my head. It's usually just doing that little bit extra if I can, or just a little message, because you all know that I like to leave you all send you things, and I'll follow. I like to follow through on what I say. And look, I still stuff up. I'm not always perfect, but I try really hard to do what I'm saying I'm going to do. And I think it's and you feel good when you do that too, like on all different things. So that's great. James, what did you get out of the training?
All right. One of the things that sort of struck me was to ask someone if they have a pacemaker before you do a wellness evaluation, like a composition scan. I wasn't aware of that before.
Yeah, look, it's fairly rare. Generally, if I see someone that's kind of a certain age, I'll ask them. It's such a rarity. It's actually in the booklet that when you get your own Tanita scales, it does mention it, but it's such a rarity that if I see someone I think, or we've gone through their profile and I can see that they've got heart issues and that, you can always ask that question if you want.
Yeah. And
Sorry. Just on that, we had a client who had a pacemaker. I said, I'll be fine. And she went on with Tanita and she had no problem. But
so it's probably just a precaution.
yeah.
The choice.
Yeah.
So I guess you can always ask your client now, not how particular they are about that as well. So
yeah.
Cool. And what did you think of Saturday night? Because obviously it brought back a few memories because that's where you were the security guard.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I used to do security at Riviera down the Gold Coast there, and look, luxury boats. Like, what can I say? Actually getting to go out on the water and go for a cruise on a boat like that sort of caliber is pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a lifestyle experience. It's something that we wouldn't normally get to do. So that's awesome.
Cool. And I know that Amin Riazzi came up from Melbourne, and I've actually heard his whole extended story, which is quite amazing how he actually even got to Australia and, without losing his life. But he was a security guard as well. So did you relate to him at all?
In some aspects, I mean, look, working in the security industry, I was sort of gathered, learned how to talk to people that I don't know and stuff like that. It comes a little bit easier for me these days, but I mean, it's that character building, and I mean, obviously he's come from a different life, lived in refugee camps and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I haven't had that sort of start to life, but yeah.
Thank you. And Cara, who did you relate to the most out of all the speakers?
Chelsea.
Yep.
She's doing the healthy, active lifestyle stuff. She's similar age to us, young mum. Like, that's the things that she was talking about were very, very simple, layman's terms. Just get out and do it. Don't get too bogged into it.
Yes, and and her partner's grandmother lives in Gympie, so we might be able to get her as the guest speaker for March, April. So I will confirm that. So that would be pretty cool to have her come and speak and hopefully inspire a lot of the mums in the area home. Yeah. So I think that's everything. So did you want to? Did you put the slides together? So
All right. So I'm going to share as we get further down. There is a few slight training slides, but they're really not training slides in amongst the call. So. Really, Success Summit is obviously going in learning.
Oh, sorry. And welcome, Anne-Marie. Sorry. Welcome to the call, Anne-Marie.
Sorry, Anne-Marie. So Success Summit is obviously that little bit of a higher level training. So you get a better understanding. Hi, Steve. How are you? So that gives you a better understanding of what you do and go from there. And do you want to check on Steve? Did you go to your Success Summit?
Okay.
He was traveling.
Okay, cool.
I was traveling.
All right. So it's Success Summit also builds, especially when it's a 2-day event, it builds that lifestyle experience. So, so some of these slides will show that as well as we go through it. So you get to have your team of people, slide that over as much as we can. All right. We just have your team of people gathered together in your apartment or your room. Building that relationship is basically what part of this starts to create.
Look how happy Michael is eating Chinese.
Yes.
He's happy. So yeah, that was a good night, and there's a few people that were still traveling. Yep. So we, but that's okay. We're going to make sure we nail that for spectacular.
Absolutely. So, and then that's what you wake up to the next morning. Nice ocean view. Nice and relaxed.
I love that. Great view.
The sound of the waves crashing on the beach all night was really, really nice. And then the crew turned up to get some training.
But yeah, it was so great to have everyone all sitting together and, you know, and just enjoying the day. And everyone's kind of at different stages and reasons why they came. So I thought that was really cool. And all getting to know each other, because there's a few of them don't live in Gympie. So nice for you to meet some of the other team and see what they want to do.
And we need to make sure that other people take photos from time to time, because Shelley doesn't seem to want to ever get the photos.
I was in some, I think. I don't know.
The camera hogger, so
Cara,
that way you stay out of it.
Cara took a few.
Yes, I know. I'm well aware of that. Yeah. So if you don't see Shelley in a lot of the photos, it's because she always had the camera.
And it's because I'm slack and haven't sent them to her yet.
Oh, that's okay.
We have plenty of resources.
So then we had this lovely couple jump up on stage and share.
That was so cute.
They were.
I love the way they interact with each other, and obviously Irene gets quite emotional as well, because, you know, it's a fairly big deal, isn't it, your story and what you've been able to achieve. And we're lucky because you get to come to Gympie so often and share with us. We know how fortunate we are.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was so great. How long had it been since you've been on stage together?
Oh, it might have been, golly, maybe a year.
Yep.
Maybe a year. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, did you want to add anything about the section that you did?
I think probably because, to be very honest, I was so happy Connie, you know, he spoke, because I do get emotional, and I felt that this time I mightn't have been as together, and so I said to him, please, will you do the talking? And the reason I share that with you is because whenever you have any emotional feelings, personal emotional feelings for whatever reason, and you go up on stage, that's when how often have we seen people crying? And there's nothing wrong with crying, but I didn't think for the segment that we had that it would have been a very good thing if I was there sobbing. So I was so grateful that Connie was able to take over and do most of it. And yes, so we you know, it is good. It was good for Con because he has been a little bit in the background, and it was good for him to have the limelight for a change.
I think he really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He really enjoyed it.
And I was amazed. So many people kept coming up to us and thanking us for sharing. And I think that it gave a lot of people also opened up an avenue of recruiting that they may not have thought about.
Yep.
And I think that's something, don't ever neglect older people, because my mom said the tragedy of old age, the mind is willing but the body isn't. We have an answer for the body and the mind, because food for thought, food for, you know, good nutrition. And so don't neglect that, because people want to live well as long as possible.
Definitely. Well, Helen's a big
example of that. Yeah.
example. So we're heading to Tin Can Bay on Wednesday to do that healthy aging
yes.
info session and morning tea with her. So yeah, we had a chat to her today. So yeah, she's doing really well.
Shelley, I think over the course of the 2 days, the variation of ages, genders, it was awesome to see so many different young males, older males. Like it's so good to see that there's so many different backgrounds involved.
Yeah, because basically anybody, isn't it?
Yeah.
Age, anybody, doesn't matter if you're shy or outgoing or, you know, like it's just if you're willing to do it, it's for you.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is that when you're older, a lot of people might not have financial pressure, but they often lack purpose.
Yep.
Without purpose, a person loses their spirit and their soul, in my opinion, and the joy of life. And so you might think that person has everything, but they might be missing that one thing that could really fulfill their lives and give them a reason to get up every day.
Absolutely. And I use that so much when I'm talking to someone that's a little bit older about that. You know, do you need a purpose? You know, something you can do. So Suzanne, who came along, so she's in her 70s, And I just said, you know, like you might not need the money, but maybe it's fun or it's positive, or come to Spectacular with us and join in with us, because there just might be something you can get from it. I know you had a chat to her about it, so that was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So obviously we've got some recognition while we're there.
I love this photo.
You love this photo, don't you?
I got the right moment with this one. I love it.
So you can explain it.
Yeah, so that basically they did the recognition section for new members, senior consultants, success builders, and qualified producers, which is your permanent 42%. So Amanda and James got recognised for that, and yes, they got recognised at the STS, but at your summit and different events like that, you'll often get extra recognition. So, and it's nice to be able to go up, even if you think, oh, I've already had it at the centre, and that, you know, take it, take the recognition. I think it's so good, and it's practicing being on stage without necessarily having to speak. But I just love that Rob Walsh is, you know, giving you his full eye contact, and so is Jess giving Amanda full eye contact. I thought it was such a great photo.
Absolutely. So then obviously you have the people that obviously got fully recognised with the certificates.
Yeah, I'm getting so good at James smiling. Look at that. I nailed
You nailed that. You nailed those shots. That's good.
I know, it's so good.
So then we got supervisors.
Yep. So they did supervisor recognition. So it was great to have Michael and Cara up as well, getting recognised in front of their peers for the summit, and also Trishy, who just went supervisor, brand new supervisor, and I could tell that, you know, she really loved it. She loved this whole weekend. She got so much out of it. She was just beaming, wasn't she? So
she talked the whole way home. We had such an awesome chat.
That's good.
Cool. So she's fired up, which is really cool.
Really good.
And I can see her growing like every single month. It's awesome.
And then
they had the active supervisor, so brand new active supervisors, Cara Michaels. That was great to have. I think you thought you were, because it was a smaller number, that you were going to get asked to speak, but you know, don't worry, your time will come. So they obviously were a little bit short on time, so they picked Elisa O'Connor, who just did Active World Team up in Cairns, which is dog groomer. And that was so great that you got your recognition, and Michael's smiling. I've got him. So I probably took about 10 though to get the right one, but it's worth it, isn't it? Getting that right shot. So well-deserved recognition.
Yep, all the way around.
Yep, and I think I love that, the amount of recognition that they did.
Yep. So a little bit of stuff from the weekend.
So this is Jess Morgan, our guest speaker.
Over in the side there.
Yep.
So if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you've always got. So there's a bit of positivity slides that they're the only ones I've really thrown through here. So just to give you an understanding of, you know, you've got to, if you want to change your life, you have to be the one that does this thing. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And
I think that was always George Knight's definition of insanity, was to keep doing the same things and expect a different outcome.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. I love this.
You love this? Yep. It's like part of the Eisenhower boxes when you think of it. It's done in a couple of different ways. So yeah, which quadrant are you sitting yourself in at this particular point?
Or the person you're speaking to.
Yeah. Where are they?
When it comes to the opportunity. And I think we're in the unique opportunity that we're in, that we have the time and we have the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't take that lightly. I see that as a massive opportunity, and totally grateful for that freedom. Because I know what we can do with that, and coming out of the weekend knowing how much more that we could help everyone else because of that as well. But you might be speaking to someone, I think Jess said the worst there is no time and no money, but there are a lot of people in that, but they can still find a way. There's always a way. All excuses are equal.
Yep.
And most people fit in these two over here. So and it's okay, because then you sort of know, okay, if they have no time, well, if they have no time but they've got some money, maybe they can do some advertising that's set and forget, that's working for them while they're at work, or are there other commitments? If they have time but no money, well, guess what? They can use their time to go out and hit the pavements and talk to people and do flyers, because it's more cost effective and it's utilising their time. So, you know, you can get creative with the DMOs that are going to suit their situation.
And that's the main thing, is trying to work out what that person needs and requires.
Yep.
And really, it follows on the same thing. You have to work that out. What are your goals? What are you dreaming big enough? You want to get to the success months, you want to get to the events, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to get to is the thing is what it comes
I
down
think
to.
I really loved her perfect day. She
Yep.
read out her perfect day, and obviously it's different for everybody. But imagine if you sat down with your partner or just did one for yourself, or what you thought your perfect day was in detail. I know I've done that a little bit with different things on how I would like to see my life, and you know, I love doing that. I love it, and you can really visualize it as well. So did everyone enjoy the perfect day?
Yes, it was fantastic.
So I think I recorded the sound of that, so I could play it back and just have it as an example.
Yep, cool. And two things must happen. Obviously, there was a training amongst this before any of this work can happen. Everything you do must be very simple. This will ensure the duplication. Your customer follow-up, as we've just said, must be unbelievable. Your customers must get a great result from our products. And really, that's what it comes down to.
And
that's the simplest way to explain this entire business.
Yeah, and a great result for someone isn't necessarily weight loss. A great result could be energy or not feeling bloated, or as Jess said, they can do a poo every day. You know, I know my auntie had that issue. She was going once a week.
Yep.
And you know, so imagine if it's just something like that. It could be the simplest thing, and it's still a life-changing result for that person. So just be very like always ask lots of questions when you're following up, because sometimes they'll tell you things, and all of a sudden they're getting you know, a different type of result that you maybe weren't expecting, but it's still amazing for them, and from that they can turn into an amazing team member.
Yep, absolutely. And even though this is not a training, this is something you have to think about. What business do you want? Wheelbarrow, locomotion. You understand the difference is a wheelbarrow means you physically have to pick it up to move it. When you put it down, business stops.
So most traditional businesses that.
That's correct.
And if you were say your business was all retail, it could be considered more of a wheelbarrow business.
Absolutely.
Whereas the locomotions, when you've got people doing what you're doing, they're duplicating underneath you, and that royalty income that Jess was talking about will just come in. So you know, they can go to Europe for 6 months with their family and have an amazing time and still get paid over $400,000 in royalty income. So and you know, that's possible for every single person.
Yep. So we really all, I know I want to create a locomotion business, and I was listening to something tonight before we did the call, and they're actually talking about what sort of industry are we in. Are we in MLM? Are we in what is this business? Do we sell whatever it is? And basically it come down, we're actually network marketing, and really our job is to actually expand, expanding our network. So if we're in the center of the hub, all we're trying to do is expand that out and expand that out so we can help as many people as we possibly can. It is probably the best way I've actually heard him explain it of what we actually do. We're expanding a network. That's all we do. We stand in the middle, we help somebody, we train them, and they go and help somebody else, and they go and train somebody else. That's what we technically are doing all the time.
And so Gary Ravender, when he trained me, he would say that you definitely want to still retail. It's really important. Even Mark Hughes talked about this. So you'd probably do 20% retail, so enough clients to have that cash flow. Might be 10, might be 20, something like that, whatever's comfortable for you. And then 80% is recruiting, because you're going to get 3 areas of income from recruiting and 1 from retail. So you want to have that nice healthy balance in your business.
Yep. So the other thing is you have to employ yourself. So Jess 1, Jess 2, and as I've done tonight, and hopefully I've sent all 8 out, and sorry Carol, I only sent 7, I had to find the other one. I've sent out the Larry Thompson tapes to the team. So if anyone else is looking for them, just ask. It was a little bit difficult because it actually comes up with a whole set of combination numbers, and it doesn't come up on the thing as training 1, training 2, training 3. It was just a combination.
Until you click on it.
You had to click on it to open it, and then I went, oh, okay, which one is that? So the amount of times I was sending it from Shelley's phone to my phone, I got the right number now. Okay, now I can send it out. It was a little bit difficult. USB would have been easier, but when you're sending it through Messenger, it actually just comes up as a combination of numbers. So when you actually do go in and open it, you'll just have a look. It comes up and it does say Millionaire Training 1, 2, whatever. So you just say, watch it in order.
So the first one's a bit of an intro.
Yep.
So just get through that. It's about obviously his background, when most people do a background intro anyway. But employing yourself. So it's so important that you employ yourself, because you know there's no one out there really making you do anything when you start as a Herbalife coach. So Jess 1 and Jess 2 means Jess 1's the employee employer, and just 2 is the employee. So you're treating yourself like both. So he just does this fun story, which you'll hear on one, where he gets up and he looks in the mirror and he goes, "Are you ready for work, Larry?" And he set his hours of when he starts and when he finishes. And, he gets up on his first day that he set it, how much income he wants to earn and everything. And he set what he's going to do, how many hours, what he wants to earn, and they've agreed on it. And his very first day, he gets up and the kids are doing something, and he runs late and he gets in the car and he's supposed to start at 8, but it's 8:05. And he thinks, even he's like, it's okay, I can make up for it. And then he looks in the rear vision mirror and guess who's there? Larry 1. Going, "I thought you said you're going to start at 8." And he's going, "Oh yeah, but I had this and that." He goes, "Hang on."
The whole
So anyway, it's all about not making excuses and just knowing that you stick to what you're going to say and you will get the results. So you've got to learn to employ yourself.
Absolutely. Cool.
I don't say it as well as Larry Thompson.
That's fine. That's why they need to listen to the video. So, and the other thing is that from Jess, and I've seen this a couple of times, and I've seen it on multiple different people saying the same thing. Why take 2 to 5 years to do what you can do in 6 months? You need to find a way to compress time, and that's just working harder now, where you can. I'll say that again: where you can work harder now to save the pressure down the track.
But working harder and smart.
Harder and smarter now, where you can. I know that's not always easy to do. It's really not, but try where you can compress the time. Right. Sure. And the other thing is monkey see, monkey do. You really have to understand this. Plus, importantly, it sets a good precedent. So you want to start fast, your people will do fast. You start slow, your people will go slow. We understand it. You'll duplicate what you do, not what you say. People follow what we do. We understand our children do the same thing. They don't necessarily listen to what we say, but they copy what we do without even realizing they're doing it at times.
So I always say,
good and bad.
Actions speak louder than words every time.
So just understand that with everything we do. If we want to go to events, we want our people to go to events, we've got to do things, or whatever it may be.
And maybe some questions you could ask is, would I want my clients using the products the way I do? Would I like my team doing the sort of activities and, work ethic and all that sort of stuff like I do? And I mean, there's lots of times with products, absolutely. Sometimes with the work side, I'll go, I probably could have done better. I probably fluffed about here. I procrastinated here. So I like having that priority checklist. And I know it's something I think Cara liked as well, that, getting your day down on paper.
So the reason I wrote level 10 there, because this is what I got out of the weekend. And I'm actually going to try and put a proper training together, not on this call, for what I call level 10. So to me, level 10 it's my level 10. That's what I want to get out of it. I listened to what they said. I will listen to their ups and downs, and I want to create my level 10 of what I want to achieve, and then show and explain how you can do that. The balance of it is 10's on everything. Everything we do from this point on, I'm going to try and 10 it for everything. Body, physical, product, clients, and I'll do a proper training and explain it in more detail somewhere down the track, something I've heard in the past. And the basis of it is, it's easier to make $10 million in 10 years than it is to make $1 million in 1 year, because I can stuff it up for the next 9 years and still achieve it at the other end, because I need to learn. And understanding that process of everything I do makes it very easy to get through. Do you have anything you wish to say on that? No?
Nope.
No, cool. So I was really inspired this weekend. I've come home and we were tired, and we still put all this stuff together this afternoon. So there's the windswept crew.
I love this photo. Such a great photo.
So before they got their lifestyle experience to be able to get on the boat. So it's another reason why anyone that's listening to the call, you have to go to experience the lifestyle experience. You really do. There'd be a Lindy.
We'll get Lindy.
We'll get a Lindy.
We'll get Lindy up. So just wait, Lindy. We'll get you up after we've done it, and so you can share what you got out of your New South Wales one.
Yep.
I think one of the things I really loved about the yacht was that Cheryl had this selfie stick And it's like, it just like if you take a photo and the selfie stick would just kind of come into view, and like she had such a great time with it and taking photos because she's a photographer, so she really enjoyed, that was something she enjoyed, and I just love the fun factor. So I can see the selfie stick coming to spectacular is what I'm thinking, and I think we're going to have a really awesome time. So
there was the boat.
Yep.
The Sun Goddess. So that's what we got on. And this crew, there's a few people there I might know. We're trying to get down onto the gangplank. And,
there's Irene and Carl.
yeah, they're in the middle there.
Kendall.
Yeah, so, you know, these people were trying to get on this boat.
Jerry's there, there's
Carmel down there. So, yeah. So.
And it's everyone wore blue and white, or blue or white.
Yeah, so, yeah, pretty well everybody come with some bluish or white theme. It went down really well, so it was really nice. And there's the crew again. You know, some of them went up on the top deck, and somebody took some photos of them all upstairs.
Yeah. There's Cheryl's selfie stick in the background.
Yep. So again, lifestyle experience that they may not have experienced if they hadn't have gone and done what they did. And there were some females. What were you getting up to when all this was going on?
You were sitting at the back. We were up.
I'll show you the seat. I got the best seat in the house, as far as I was concerned.
You weren't moving.
I was where I was. I was fine. Food kept coming to me. I was good.
I think it's a really great photo, and you know, because sometimes, as we know, like with women, sometimes women don't always have each other's backs, and I like this group of women, and you know, and Irene and Lindy included, that you know, we want to support each other, we want to have each other's backs, we want to be happy when we see our successes, and that, you know, I think it's a pretty awesome group. And I can see it growing, and us setting that example, and guys too. But I just think sometimes as women that can happen. I've had that experience, and I just had such a ball on Saturday night with everyone having lots of fun, taking photos. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cool. So we're going to go on to the promotions. So that was pretty well most of the things. So if you want to.
Can we have a chat with Lindy?
We can have a chat with Lindy before.
Lindy? Let's go find her. Where did she go?
So I'll go back to there.
So Lindy, thank you for posting photos on Challenge Yourself Daily. We did see them, so we know why you're on late.
We now know why you're on late, Lindy. You're still posting photos for that.
No, I was on late because, yes, I've got one child who decided to,
Oh, that's okay.
I'm not going into details.
So tell us about the Sydney Summit. We'd love some feedback. We know you had Mark Paulson, who's a pretty awesome trainer, right back to basics, no bull, just tells it as it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no filter on him at all. So, but there is some gossip with Irene that I'm obviously going to have a personal phone call with, because he was dropping some naughty stuff. So.
I know, he keeps telling everybody.
Oh no, just him and me. Yeah, and then when I said I knew Shelley and Ross, he goes, "That's it, I'm going away now," and turned away, walked off. So no, it was funny.
Actually, just one thing I will say. I was sent to New Zealand with Mark to do a world team training for the New Zealanders, and I have a photo, and I think that everyone on that photo is either Mill team or President's team. And Mark Paulson is not only an amazing trainer, but he's a true gentleman. And I found, you know, he treated me like a gentleman should, and I felt very privileged to have had that time with him. So I just wanted to put that in there. So if he's coming any time to Kingsby, bring everybody, because he says how it is, but he's also a gentleman.
Absolutely. And you know, he like we chatted for quite a while, and then he goes, "I don't want to be rude, but I have to make sure I speak to everybody in this room." And so he went off and he just mingled around, and there was a few that had a couple of champagnes that were quite funny at dancing, but yeah, that's another story in itself.
And what was was it the 80s prom theme? How did that go?
Yeah, not a lot of people dressed up, but it was there were a few, but the ones that did were really good. I just didn't have time, but by the time I was chatting to people, the party had started, so I just went from one room to another, and yeah, it was really good. The music, you just think, oh my goodness, did I really dance to this all that long time ago? So yeah, it was a bit of a throwback for me, but some people really got up and were swinging and dancing. It was great fun. So It was
If
really
you want to
good.
add with your photos, if you want to edit your post and maybe just put your top 3 things you got out of the training on Challenge Yourself Daily, that will be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Look, you know, I every time I go to the summit, so I just always write pages and pages and pages, and I suppose Mark kept saying it's not what happens in life, it's what you do with it, and he said that over and over, and I think that was a really good thing. But going back to the same as everyone else says, keeping everything simple and duplicatable. You can do lots of things, but if your team can't duplicate it or copy it, then just don't do it. I'm assuming that by the looks of some of the things you brought up, obviously they're all had very similar trainings. That you obviously had. Did Jess do? Because sorry, so it came a bit late. Did she have the fact sheet of all as well? Did she go through that?
No.
Mark was. It's up on the New South Wales STS, so I'll PDF it and I'll send it over to you. But he's saying when you've got people who are like, it was really funny. He had one person who said, "Oh, it's just a pyramid scheme." He said, "We don't sell pyramids." And I thought that was really funny. But you know, that was going through the facts about how much the turnover with Herbalife and all the positive things. So if you're coming across business people and they just want to know the facts as opposed to what you do, then that was something to show. The one thing that I thought was really good is he brought up, showed us a magazine called The Ultimate Gig Book. And what it is, it's just a magazine that you can buy online, just called I think it was just the ultimategig.com or something. I'll have to have a look a little bit later and I'll put up the link when I find it. But it was talking about how in the next 10 to 15 years, robotics, technology and automation is taking over all the jobs. And then he went through statistics of each state within Australia of unemployment and the groups that would be affected and mortgage stress. And he went into a whole lot of stuff. It was actually really interesting. It was heavy, but it was really, really good. And a bit like the Jess 1, Jess 2, he did the Mark 1, Mark 2 as well, and employing yourself. I think the employing yourself has actually got me stumped for a little bit. I think it's not until someone breaks it down very simply and tells you that, like you say, it's getting up for work on time, and just because you don't have someone, a boss behind you telling you what you do for each day, that's what you have to work out for yourself. And he kept us throughout the whole weekend, you've got to go and figure it out yourself. You've got to figure it out yourself. You've got to figure it out yourself, because we've all got different home lives or different circumstances, and you can't getting people to do, it was like all the goal setting and time management and organisation and things like that, to just get yourself in a good headspace so that you can make yourself accountable for what you do or don't do. What other sort of things? Oh, look, there was so much. I just can't. You can
add them onto your post though if you want. If you might want to pick out maybe 3 things and go in and back edit your post and Challenge Yourself Daily. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
And add it on, that would be lovely. And yeah, we would love to see some, because I know how good Mark Paulson's trainings are.
It was really good. The first day was really almost all on personal development and personal growth. And I went home, I was mentally drained. I really was. And then I thought, oh no, I've got to go back again. Not from a bad perspective, but you know, your mind's going over. And he really kept pushing the IamHerbalifeNutrition.com and getting, so particularly when you've got female entrepreneurs, getting the link for that and sending it to people you know, and looking at the videos and the stories and picking things that are more current, and then again sending the link in private messages to people to perhaps entice them to come into the business. And I know I'm a little bit slack on well, I did have all good intention, as we all do, on talking to people, but I got a bit slack for a while. So I did my 10 people on the way home when I stopped from the car from Sydney back to here. So yeah, I haven't stopped. So it's head down, momentum on now.
Oh, well, we're definitely working towards spectacular. So I think we've got
a lot of further to go. So yep,
yes.
Cool.
Thank you, Lindy, and thank you for sharing your photos. So that's really cool.
Did you like the one I had of the Ferrari?
Yeah.
There was when we went up on the second day, there was this car show, and we all going, oh no, where are we going to park? And then I said, I don't care, just park near the Ferrari. So I go 3 policemen, my business card. And I gave the bloke who owned the Ferrari, and there was another bloke outside who just looked really exhausted.
And how many business cards did the policeman give you, like tickets instead?
No. One of them said, "No, I don't need it, thank you." I said, "Yes, you do. There's bound to be someone at work that needs some energy and feeling good for the day." And I walked off. I didn't give him a chance to give it back. I just kept walking.
That's good.
Awesome work, Lindy.
You know, that's me.
So we want to talk about the importance of printing the flyers out, promoting yourself, understanding the qualifications and learning how to break it down. You really need to know how to promote yourself, just what Lindy was just basically saying, working out how you can create your own business, creating that dream board and working out how to build a business onto other things.
Because if you print the flyers out, like we have them here, the vacation and spectacular, if they're there in front of you, they're constantly reminding you of what you're going for. Because out of sight, out of mind. So make sure you're constantly reminding yourself of what's important to you, including your dream board of things that are important to you.
Because the reality of it is, Herbalife give us so much information. We get regular information. Every Friday there's the information on what's required. Every piece of information you want is being drip fed to us on a regular basis all the time. It's there, you know what I mean? I didn't take much to go looking for it this afternoon. I found the stuff that I required. All right, so, and then there's obviously this photo. I got myself cut out of that. Isn't that good? Look, I'm moving there.
I'm not even looking at anybody.
Look down.
Where am I looking?
Maybe you're looking at Ross. I know he's
behind me.
I'm behind her. So that was the group of people that were up on the stage that had helped present for the day. The team that was in the background, they're doing the shakes and the running around, and so it was just the whole group that everybody worked together, which was fantastic. To bring that day to a head, which was amazing.
Yeah, they had some fantastic speakers. I think Mike Dawes did an awesome job of emceeing on day two because he really tied everything in together.
Absolutely.
He really thought about each section. He was paying attention and he was drawing from each thing and then, summarizing it and then bringing it into the next thing. So I think he did an awesome job of that.
Yep, absolutely. And then we had to take this photo, because the lovely lady said, "I've never had my photo taken at a lift." So we, Kelly got a photo of Con and Irene and the rest of the crew.
I thought that was so funny. No photo in a lift. That was funny.
On day two.
What a cool photo.
It is a cool photo. Yeah.
But the lift had gold doors.
There you go.
And a really nice seat.
And a very, very nice plush leather seat. And Con was a bit concerned why we only moved 2 floors and it probably took an hour. No, it wasn't an hour, but it felt like it. We got pedaling very slowly for that lift to go down.
Look at that. I got everyone smiling.
You did.
Nailed it.
And then there's gratitude. Gratitude of why you go and why you do what you do, because that was this morning. So that was the second take, because Shelley just finished it and the wave went.
I got like.
I mean, you need to back up a bit. The wave's going to get on top of it. So the water was coming in at that point. So
I'm grateful I got to do it a second time.
There you go. Yeah. So there's gratitude this morning because obviously they gave an ability to get up, get on the beach. It was a little bit colder this morning, like how it was.
Yeah, you're a bit reluctant, but I
still went and did it. I'm standing there on the sand, you know what I mean? I'm standing behind. That's where we stayed in that apartment there.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So that's where we were. And I found out, and I didn't realise, Cara, James, Amanda, where we're actually staying, we're on the chicane part of the grid of the 600.
Yeah, did you not know that?
Not until this morning, until I walked across the road and went, what? And this one goes, no, I'm not coming back to that. And I went, oh, come on, seriously, this would be perfect.
Noisy, it's just boring.
We're right on that.
Ross, I've actually been down there, would have been 2 weeks before Indy was on.
Yep.
That's a whole experience.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's already half set up. It's amazing.
Yeah. The only thing I looked at where it was, I went, once you got in this apartment building, there'd be no coming back out until the whole thing was over. There'd be no way to get the cars in and out of that.
Yep.
We'd be stuck, which would be good.
Yeah, one stage I was down there helping them set up and pull down. Some of them built like marquees and grandstands and stuff for the Indy 500 and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the experience this morning, gratitude in the building. So, right on the beach, basically. This is obviously a street between the beach and where the place was. But, basically right on the beach, had had the perfect view.
It's a pretty cool apartment.
Watch
I
that
liked it.
lovely storm roll over the top on Sunday night, and yeah, it's good.
And I forgot to look out the window. I was so busy with the training.
Great experiences. I think that's it. You know, life is made of moments, and
Yep.
and you know these. I tend to take a lot of notice of different things. Like I appreciate lots of things, especially
Yep.
to do with family and friends. I just love those moments because that's what builds your relationships and that. So I often appreciate seeing a group of people together, like that last photo with the girls.
Yep.
And they're all smiling. It's just like that's just the epitome of happiness. Everyone's smiling and laughing, and I just love it.
So that's sort of the training. There's some bits I'm going to snip in between what we're going on. So obviously there's Christmas catalogue out at the moment. And remember, the Christmas catalogue is not for us. It's for us to promote to get new members. Even though we may have seen some of these things that have been in and out, whatever, but it's not directly for us. Yeah, we can grade it, get it fantastic, but it's for us to try and inspire someone else to do something or give a small gift.
Look, I think it shows everything. It shows pretty much most of the main promotional items. Yes, they have a few things there, but like the ice cube tray or that funny one, like I've given those to clients. If they've done a big enough order, I would include something like that. But if I had something smaller, like you could put a protein bar in the cup, or you could just get some coffee mugs and put protein bars and lift up and things, and have it like the holiday survival guide or the teacher's gift for surviving the last week of the school or whatever it might be. So you can kind of get clever with those things as well and make them more Christmassy, but also let your team and members know, particularly people that have already gone VIP, so that they can choose from this as well. Because the more they're branded, the more people see it and the more it will spread. So the salad bowl, I think, is quite clever, and a few other things like that.
It's just about trying to get the brand out there and be an awareness and that sort of stuff. And then if that helps with getting an extra client, that's what it's about.
Probably my only concern with that is that last time when we started promoting, especially the skin promotion and the healthy breakfast, by the time we'd actually got that to clients, they were gone.
Yes.
And now they're back again. So now I need to go back to people and say, oh, they're back again, but I don't know for how long.
So the best way
order some and keep some in stock, then
so the best way to do that is to actually, and you don't have to do this, is to, as yourself, if you want to heavily promote it, you go and buy a couple yourself. So at least that way you've got it if need be.
But then,
I understand what you're saying. Yes, it could.
But it's my VIP clients that order their own stuff that were interested in it last time and missed out.
So what we may have done.
I wanted it too, and I missed out.
Yeah, so did we, Irene.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a sense of urgency this time.
Yes. So there you go. Sense of urgency is what we were taught.
So that's what you say.
Yeah, and the other thing at times of what we have done is we might have gone and ordered that healthy breakfast pack with the intent that if a client or a VIP member didn't get the that food container, then fine, I would just give them the food container, and then I would on-sell the normal breakfast pack in, say, a month's time. Not a problem at all.
So the things that I think are kind of cool, if I can just point out,
you may.
The ice cube trays with little Herbie
I thought
symbol.
you wanted that donut ring.
Yeah, hang on, to that. So the little Herbie ice cube tray. So you can obviously put ice in them, but you can make Herbalife chocolate. So you can buy two, split them, give them as gifts.
Yep.
And remember, you can do your own promotions with your clients too. The shaker cup's really cool as well. So you could do a set, or they're great for a shake party. Obviously the pool ring was now it's summer, and you've got a pool, or you're going camping. The camping chair. I love the skin bag, the little one, the blue one. I've given that to clients as a gift before too. You can put actually skin in there. So if someone ordered a skin program, you could add that into it. I've done the little skin pin as well. I've got a client that's been ordering off me for like 5 years, so she's probably got everything now. So every time she does a big enough order, I give her something. So she's got the thermos. She's got everything really. But yes, you could make, like, say if someone bought maybe if they, like, I had clients that bought 6 instant herbal beverages, like giving them the thermos as a gift. Like, not all the time, but just as a once-off. So there's lots of creative things you can do, but you can also come up with your own promotions too.
And do that at your own. Don't cost yourself money in the process of that either. That's important to understand. You know what I mean? Just do what you're comfortable with at whatever level that is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what I would do with my VIP clients? I would ring them up excitedly and say, guess what? If you want to have the bag and what have you, now you need to get on an order.
Yep.
That they do it, and that you, rather than say, oh, it's back again, go and say, guess what? I just found out, and be excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Create that sense of urgency. So they go and place an order straight away. They get in early. They don't go, oh yeah, well I'll get to it. And well, no, I mean they need to have that sense of urgency for us, for yourself. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if they want it, they'll go for it.
Yes. All right. So we also have to understand the value of our roadmap. So it's that fear of missing out, that FOMO, right? That sense of urgency, that fear of loss. That's what creates that urgency for that client to go and do something about it. Otherwise, the client goes, oh, yeah, I'll get it when I'm ready. And oh, I missed it. We need to build that, all right? That there's an impending event, whether it's an event, whether it's a product, whatever it is. It's that urgency factor that we need to create to get that momentum, because this is about that locomotion. It's about building that locomotion and having everybody having that sense of urgency, which builds it continuously on top of each other.
And Gary was always so great at that. It was whatever the next one was, because I know Jess was doing, she was
pretty well doing that, and that's
giving
what this
Gary's thing. But he was like super excited. It was the last thing. If you didn't get to this, like it was like the end of.
There's not going to be another event. Yes.
That's right, and he did it so well.
Yep.
And this is someone that was quite shy.
Yep.
That always felt like throwing up before he got on stage, and it was quite amazing, inspiring thousands and thousands of people.
So for that reason, and this is why you do what you do. So you go and get on a boat and you snavel, I was concerned, the best seat in the house. So, and you make sure your team's in it so no one else can get there. And then what you do is you go and find who's going to be your guest speaker at your next event, and you snavel them into the photograph so you can promote it. So Jerry and Carmel obviously into that photo, for the specific reason because we have a Let's Go coming up in 2 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's why you do what you do. It still was the best seat in the house. I don't care what you say.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying that there's other parts of the boat that we wanted to see too.
Sure. I was happy where I was.
But we also got a photo with Chelsea too. Yeah.
So obviously, like I said, Let's Go Gympie with Jerry and Carmel, 2 weeks' time, Saturday the 7th. So that's why you do that, so you can promote. So your people that are coming know that you actually do know these people, and they know the guests, who they are. There's a connection there, rather than just you know their story, you know who they are. That's how you got to go and promote it.
So they're going to be talking about healthy aging.
Yep.
We're going to have Irene and Con as
Yes.
well.
I just realized that the boys are arriving on the evening. Oh, thank goodness. I thought, oh my gosh, 7.
We'll be wrapped up by 3, so hopefully that's okay.
No, it's perfect. They're not arriving till 6:15.
Oh, that's fine.
So they're going to be doing healthy aging. They do healthy active lifestyle. They have a walking group where they do games and activities, and they do it really well. They run weight loss challenges. Carmel's teaching herself social media, and she's doing these video challenges on different topics. So if you're not friends with her on Facebook, you'll see it come up. Quite clever. They've just traveled around Europe together as well. So, they've got lifestyle. So they're going to be talking about all of that. So, someone from the banking industry who was quite conservative, was having health issues, got both overweight, and now he's running half marathons, like a whole bunch of them. So it's going to be quite inspirational for people in that age group. So I did ask Carmel, because I didn't know the ages. So Carmel's 68 and Jerry will be 70 soon. So, who do we know in that age group that could be totally inspired by these two? So the event will go up soon, and we're going to promote the socks of this and fill the room. We're going to pack it.
Absolutely.
There will be a Christmas theme as well.
There will.
Yep. Lots of yum yums.
Does that mean we get Christmas presents?
Oh, you like?
Okay, I'm just checking.
Do that.
All right, and then obviously a week later is the Success Training Seminar President's Team Showcase. So it's a recognition gala and Christmas party. So this is your next year opportunity. So when you think about it, this is all, the roadmap is what you need to understand. We've got a Let's Go for a reason. That gives you an opportunity to invite someone into. If you miss that opportunity, you may be able to get them to become a member in that period of time, and then a week later they can go to the President's Showcase and see this event, which also then leads obviously into all the events that come after that. This is what this whole roadmap is designed for you to be able to show someone, invite someone, get them to see something to keep moving down the track.
So the one in Brisbane will be at Sunpack, but of course they're going to be happening all around Australia. But I think if there was an event, you know, an SES to invite a client or someone that's got their free ticket and they haven't used it, this would be it. They're going to get so much value. Hearing from all the president's team, still having a success training for the day. The recognition gala is going to be mega results and the cash prizes handed out. Christmas parties, they're going to have some yummy foods and things. So they're going to get a lot of value on that one day. So I would be inviting as many people as you possibly can. Who do you know in Brisbane? Who do you know in the different states around Australia that you could invite as well?
So then we've got this thing coming up called Spectacular. And there's people that went and got some tickets. So ones that didn't have the tickets jumped up on stage, got a photo with Jazz, say, just got my ticket. So, you know, we do major events for a reason, because you get a lifestyle experience. You get to see a bigger picture. And this is why you've got to go and move yourself through the marketing plan to get to that supervisor level and beyond. So you get the extra training. So you pick up the extra bits and pieces and that sort of stuff.
And so they did lots of recognition throughout the weekend of people that had got their tickets and got them up on stage and had a photo with Jess. And look, there's lots of people that got their tickets because obviously we've got our tickets beforehand.
Absolutely.
But it's just great to have that little extra recognition. And just one thing to promote what it is. Like people go, if you see that on Facebook, and it might go on your timeline and people going, what's Spectacular? And you just might get someone asking you what it is. And again, that leads into another Herbalife conversation.
There's plenty of stories where people have said, just come for the party, and then turned themselves into Get Team within 12 months. There's plenty of those sort of stories that lay around the place. So.
It's going to be like a tropical theme. So it's going to be fun, the party. I saw it somewhere on one of the slides. I didn't take a photo of it, of course, but anyway.
All right, cool. So I've got a little bit of video to play. Hopefully it'll play. If there's no sound, please let me know so we can just stop it and move on. So we'll just see how we go.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I've got a thumbs up.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Rock and roll, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Most amazing people in the world.
The pictures are okay though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Keep going. Did it stop?
Yeah.
Playback error. So sorry about that. Obviously, it's probably just the MP3 part's not picking up. But
can you load it on Challenge Yourself Daily?
I can attempt to try and do that. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Just give me a snippet of what you're going to.
What you could be achieving. Yes. Yeah.
It should be. Isn't it on the My Herbalife anyway for people to get?
Yes, that's where I got it from. But not every. Again, it's very obvious. Not everybody actually goes through the weekly supplement correctly, because that's where I got it from. So yes, it is, but not everybody actually does all that. Don't wind me up. I'm getting the one. Irene, you were rubbing off on her for con. I'm getting the wind up. So it is on 17th to the 19th of January.
Adelaide Convention
Centre. Train Mamie Heron. They are now 70K.
7 diamonds.
7 diamonds. You know what I mean? So yes.
We're working out income wise. What would that be per month? 400.
At a guess, I would say 300,000 to 400,000 a month. At a guess. Would that be right, Irene?
I think you're pretty close to it.
That's like buying a house a month.
Because I roughly know what obviously George and Christy and that get, and then you think what level they sit at compared to, it would have to be in that category somewhere.
But just remember, they're duplicating and they're helping people in their communities and country towns, just like us.
Yep.
They've got that old-fashioned country hospitality and service, and because he's second generation. healthy, active lifestyle. They're really nailing everything. So I think they've got a lot of value to come and share with us.
And when you think about it, as I said before, level 10, if it took 10 years, does it matter?
No.
In a normal job in 10 years, could you get anywhere close to it? Not even a hope. So it's just a mindset thing you have to start to think about. I may not get it in year 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but if I work the right way, I'd never know what level 10 years down the track could achieve. It's just something you need to think about. All right. So yeah, you stop writing on me. So hopefully this is the same video from the weekend, and hopefully this will play. We'll see what happens. No.
Not happy.
It's not happy? I know they had. Again, I can try and load this on.
Yeah, if you could do that.
Yep, I can try and load this on.
But it is on there anyway to look through, so yeah.
We'll put it on Challenge Yourself. That's
We'll
such a beautiful video to see, and you'll really get a glimpse of who they are and what they're going to come and deliver for us.
Yep. Cool. So that's their story. Again, it is in the weekly supplement. That's where their story is as well. So you can go and read who they are. And it's good to know that sort of stuff because you just never know who you may run into that has plenty of time, that has plenty of money, that wants more or whatever it may be. That might go, okay, I've had enough of my own business. I'd love to do something else. You just never know. So you just need to.
Might be a uni student. She's a nurse.
Yep.
You run into talking to nurses. You're talking to uni students. Then there's lots of different things in this story that you could pick out and relate to someone you're talking to.
Yep.
So just learn the story.
Yep.
Yep.
So at that last thing when it was put up, there was supposedly 100 first release tickets left. I haven't seen anything say that they've totally sold out or whatever the case may be, but you know what I mean? The objective is to try and if you want your business to propel forward, it's about getting as many people there to see the bigger picture, and then they make the decision. Our job is just to invite. Our job is just to get them to the event so they look at it and go, wow, this is exactly right, Steve. Wow, this is for me. I've just found what I want. Or they go away and go, it's not for me. And that's perfectly okay if that happens. But our job is to invite them, to get them to see the wow, if that's the wow for them.
I know the event will deliver. The event will do the work for you.
In reality, if you get enough people there, then when you do that, that propels your business forward because you get enough people seeing the bigger picture, and then they understand the business of what this is duplication, which is about that network, expanding your own network and expanding it out. It's just what it is.
Builds belief, it builds trust, it builds faith and confidence and all the things that we need when we come back into our communities and are out there every day building. So it's really about building that belief.
So again, with the level 10, my attitude at the moment is come away is do everything we can to get 10 first line, and then do everything out of those first lines to help them get 10 first line. That's the reality. Now, whether we achieve that or not is not the point. It's if I don't go for that, I'm never gonna know. And our job is to do everything we can to help as many people get as many people there as possible, so they can patrol their businesses forward and they can get Mark Hughes' mission around the world fast as possible.
Yep. So set your personal goal of what you would like to do.
Right.
You going, and then how many people am I going to aim to take with me? Because you never know. Some people have decided the week before. They've got registered and they've gone the week before. So. And
the reason I'm going 10 at the moment is the fact that if I go for 1, okay, that's easy. Where's my drive to go past that? If I go for 10 and I don't get it, it doesn't matter. But that it's playing that game. If I get 10, then I should be saying, okay, let's go and get 10 more. You know what I mean? That's where it should be living at. All right. So there's the agenda. It was on the weekly supplement. All right. So there's the agenda. So for Active World team and Tab team, registration is at 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on the Friday.
Yep. And remember, you want to come in and see the HNF bike riders come in. That's on the Thursday.
That's on the
morning.
Thursday if that's what you choose to do.
Some people really like that.
That's fine. I did say if that's what you choose to do. I didn't like it.
I really wanted to, but I couldn't get a flight until the afternoon. So
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that's the registration for there. Then 10:30 to 2 p.m. is for the active supervisor. So obviously,
and this year they've actually got a special training for active supervisors. It was actually always world team and above, but this is really, really special. So
so as you notice, the registrations are purposely staggered. so you don't end up in a queue that, oh my God, how am I going to get into the door?
Like hours.
Hours and hours when you would whatever. So it's designed specifically for that. So then active supervisors go and get a special training on the Friday afternoon, right? And then once they've actually, their training starts, then registration opens up for everyone else, which is not till 2 o'clock on the Friday afternoon. And obviously it's available the next day and so forth as well. All right. And then obviously on the Saturday and the Sunday, there's general training, which roughly runs 9 to 4 both days.
And
Right?
can I just say that the training is at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The party from 7 to 10 is at the Adelaide Convention Centre, which is on North Terrace. So, for example, we're at the Playford, we just walk across the road. The people at the Adelaide Riviera, because I know there's a few staying there, you would come back down towards the city and then go across the road. So Lydia knows where it is.
Yep.
So just remember the party's at a different convention centre.
Different location
yeah.
to where the event is. So
Yep. And then on Sunday, it's 9 till 4 for general training.
Yep.
They generally finish on time, and you can take your suitcases and have them sitting there so you can go straight to the airport if needed.
And also remember, the general training is open to everybody. Long as they're a member. They could have become a member the day before the event, and they can go to the training if they can purchase a ticket, if the ticket's available. And that party on that Saturday night is open to every member.
There will be food, there will be drinks, but just go easy on the drinks. Everyone, we want you clear and focused the next day.
Absolutely.
Have fun, but you know, not too
Island theme.
So just re-putting it back out there, Hamilton Island vacation, qualifications are still well and truly in play. If you really sat down and thought about it, anybody could still fully achieve it from this moment. It's just a matter
Even
of
if you weren't a supervisor yet,
you could still get there.
plenty of
Absolutely.
time.
You've just got to put the plan in place and then work around however you work around that plan.
Yep.
All right, and then basically that's the final. Show everybody the big picture, then let them do what they want to do. That's what this is about. Show everybody, invite everybody to see it, then let them make their decision.
And just think, some people the big picture is the Let's Go event, some people the big picture is the SDS, and some people the big picture is the spectacular extravaganza. So, you know, just keep inviting and eventually someone's going to come. But, you know, if you show commitment, it's amazing what can happen, that energy that gives off, where people will start wanting to follow you because they can see you're going somewhere and they probably don't want to miss out. They don't want FOMO.
No, they don't. And I'll give you an example of FOMO. I don't post very often. I understand that. Shelley does from time to time, and most of the time on her pages,
I post a little bit.
You post a little bit, but it's not an overabundance of Herbalife. It's not an overabundance of lifestyle. And Shelley this morning put the photos up of us being on the beach and being on the Gold Coast, and a person that's showed interest in coming to Fit Club and ages. You've got a fantastic lifestyle. And it's the perfect opening to go back and have the conversation.
And reach out.
And reach back out to that individual and go, hey, what can we do to help you? Because you can just tell through the conversation. So that's what we need to learn to do. Learn how to promote, but without over promoting. Learn how to show the lifestyle without going crazy, but so that the people who are watching get to see what's going on.
You know, you want to be attractive. You know, just be you, be yourself.
And that's all.
Cool. So I'm going to stop sharing, then I'm going to stop recording. So here we go. Here's our awesome mastermind group. Thank you guys for being on the call. I'm going to stop recording so we can
You can have a quick conversation.
So
Yep.
here we go.